My friend and I, Mikhail and I, took a trip from Kiev to Lviv in September, early October, and we decided on the way back to visit a few castles. The castles were interesting, maybe a little tame, but we saw this thing online that looked a little strange. First of all, it was free, and secondly, it was open 24/7. It made us wonder what it was. It said it was an abandoned fort. So
I don't know.
why not?
I think so.
Maybe it's another castle.
It's way there
Decrepit
for them.
castle. Well, we were about to find out. Why not? First of all, the road wasn't really all that bad. I mean, you can see it. But my car is a Hyundai Tucson, and it's four-wheel drive, and it's an older model, so it's built on a truck frame. And it's a pretty good car for this sort of stuff. We've been on a lot worse roads than this. We had to stop a couple of times to let other cars pass, and they weren't particularly good cars for this sort of a road, so we weren't too worried about it. There were a few people walking also, which is a pretty good hike. I suppose I could have cropped out most of this drive, but I thought you might want to see that we were in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Go to find. This road is not for my car, just for you.
Just for my car. My car will be all dirty.
Left, right?
I don't know.
Me too. I feel like.
I think this way. Yes.
Hope it's the road possible.
Ask him, maybe.
Добрий день. А як попасти туди на форт той?
You have to walk, huh?
And then we walked, and walked, and walked. And the path got narrower and narrower, and on one side there might be a brick wall, on another side there might be a concrete wall, and sometimes there was no wall at all. But it was soon pretty obvious that this was a big place. We were looking for a place to get in that would be safe. After a while, we even decided to climb up the berm to look around. And aside from being big and artificial, we didn't see really anything. So, aside from the fact that we knew that it was a military fortress, what was it? Why was it here? Obviously, it was not to protect something. There was nothing to protect nearby. There was no city, not even a village. No river crossing nearby, no mountain pass to protect, no reason to be here. Obviously, there are some defensive fortifications, places to hide from, places for a sniper to pick off an enemy soldier. But basically, this is not a fighting castle. This is not a fortress for fighting. This is a fortress to hide an army in. This is a place to turn an army of conscripts, farm boys and city boys, into soldiers. Oh, one more thing. This place is old, very old, 1870s old. This was a horrible place to be a young soldier. And why do I say this? Well, first of all, it was unheated. There are no chimneys here. There are no signs of fire or stoves. People, soldiers, slept on the ground, probably, in a small cramped room with only their buddies as a heat source. Well, people were tougher back then, at the end of the 19th century. But I'm going to tell you flat out, if you took 5,000 young Americans, the type that might be in the military now, the U.S. military, and you put them in this fortress in September, maybe of these 5,000, 50 might be alive in April. maybe 50. Even now, Ukrainians probably would do much better in a situation like this. But the fact remains, thousands of young men died in this place. Now you can, if you want, go visit Tarakaniv Castle. It's not that far from Ukraine. You can drive there from here. You can find similar castles and graveyards all over Europe, or suspected to be haunted. But if you want a really spooky place in Eastern Europe, this is it. This is number one. Even now, even in this last 50 years, people disappear in this fortress. People fall down a shaft, a wall falls on them, and their body is never found. This is a real deal. And this, unlike the Hollywood-style props that you might find all in other parts of Europe, this one is real. And this is where Mikhail and I are about to get lost. It's also a real good time for you to subscribe to me. There's more to come.